Boom, boom. Okay. Okay. This is Bridges for Music. Welcome to the Bridges for Music podcast in collaboration with Pioneer DJ. Get ready for an incredible episode featuring Grammy Award winner Zakes Bantwini, the acclaimed South African singer, songwriter, record producer, DJ, and businessman. From his collaborations with fine DJs to his chart-topping single Osama with Kasango, Zakes Bantwini has made waves in the industry. Stay tuned as we explore his latest achievements and listen to more about his extraordinary musical journey.
Molweni. Okay, we come back. It's me, and you already know who it is. I don't even have to say much. Kamangumbasa, also known as the Ghost Bunny. We've got something very interesting today. When I heard we got the opportunity to do this, I was amazed. I didn't know what to say. Ndikx, what you saying?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm Bunny and Ndikx, the hunk in a vibe. Oh, today we are hosting the top dog.
Top dog.
Yeah, Naranjan, Mr. Asanda. Oh yeah, Mbasaya, you can. Good afternoon, Zakes.
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man.
Good.
I see you also looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, let's start a business. I want to know, you see, when I always see you on TV, I want to know something. Who, maybe before you start the music, who was your role model? If you don't have a role model, is there something that inspired you to start the music industry?
Yeah, the lifestyle. I wanted to live a lifestyle. I wanted to live like R. Kelly. I saw him driving jeeps and with big houses and so many cars, and yeah, I the music video remind me of something. I saw that music video. I was like, yo, I love this lifestyle. Yeah.
So did you have ever any moment maybe where you think the challenges are over, you are overcoming, you starting to quit, you wanting to quit the music industry maybe?
Yeah, no, I've never had a challenge that actually said I should quit music. My mother said if I want to be a musician, I need to go study music. I was never given a second choice. It was like, you're not going to study something else and want to be something else. If you want this thing called music, go study music then. The second, that's your first plan. The second plan is to make your first plan work. Even the third plan, So I always had one plan to be in the music industry.
You always wanting to do music?
Just, yeah. It was like, my mother was like, okay, you want to do music? Yeah, go study it then.
Even when academics were just
go study, yeah. Just go study music, and if you what you want, that's what you're going to be, and then you'll be different than the next guy, and you will always try to make sure that you make your passion work, and through studying and through the information that you want to get from studying. So I always sometimes hear, and I always hear sometimes people say, yeah, no, I studied something else so that you have something to fall back on. I was never given that opportunity to fall back on. My mother said, you want to fall back to the very same thing you studied. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, bro, you've been in the music industry for more than a decade now, I think.
True.
So what would you say is your biggest achievement?
I mean, I think I've given you so many. I think for me, the beautiful thing is that I've done a lot and people don't know, So to some people, think that I'm a vocalist. They don't know that I'm a producer. So when they find out, you produce this thing, so it's like, you produce Clap Your Hands. Wow. Oh, you produce El Vovo. Oh, you actually discovered El Vovo and stuff like that. So it's like, and
so it's you discovered El Vovo.
See, now you're actually finding out now. Yeah. That's what makes me love this thing. So that's what makes me love this thing. So yeah, man, I found El Vovo. El Vovo was my artist for three albums. So I produced and wrote all his music. And after the third and second album, then he left my label, and then I produced so many songs. I produced a song called La 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 by DJ Ndara. I'm picking up songs that are just popular, La 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 La. Yeah. I also have a contribution of the song Mafigizolo. Yeah, we Awe Ma, So I have so many records that I've participated and contributed on, and most of them produced. And yeah, so yeah.
Coming to our next question. What was the question, Alan? Completely forgot something. Yeah, it's nerves,
Got
man.
him.
Yeah.
I got the code.
Right, you studied social entrepreneur. When I heard about that, I was so surprised. I mean, Zakes is so big. Why going back to school? Like, when you see you on TV, you seem like the guy that has a lot in life. You've acquired everything that you want. So, what made you go back to school?
Um, because a lot of people still needs to be people who look like me who are from the townships. They still need to have a life. They still need to. I'm not. I'm not. I'll say excused from seeing that most of the people that I grew up with, they're still having it hard. Like I'm not excusing myself from because I was lucky. So I understand that a lot of people that are from the same situation as me, they're still struggling. I mean, we have about 70% unemployment of a youth in South Africa. 70. It's like, and you should understand that you are actually one in a million and you are the luckiest one, but you'll be so selfish if that success then will mean that you have to forget about everybody else. So why I went to study social entrepreneurship was also just to do that particular social change so that I understand my people and I can always give time to my people. That's the reason why I would take my time and come here, and postpone meetings that perhaps might potentially could give me money. But understanding that it is important, it's as much as important to make money, it is important to be here and sharing my time and talking to you guys because I feel like it might do something to somebody.
Thank you for taking your time to come talk to us today. So I was quite interested on my end, like in your pivot into business.
Yeah.
You mentioned, I watched an interview, doing research.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you just went from a production company to an agency.
Yeah.
I'm curious what that looked like and what led to that decision.
Yeah, I think because we are at the point now where we need to, our artists and our athletes are becoming more globally competitive, and every time when we becoming more big, we find ourselves having to let go of our managers or of our representative from Africa and give that opportunity to people who are representing global acts like overseas those agencies or managers. And we wanted to create we are creating not even okay, we are creating uh, an agency, our agency. So we created actually, so we created an agency that will be able to scale and represent artists, globally. You not having now to let go of your of a manager because you just do not have a representation in the States, or you have no representation in the US, or maybe in South America or Europe, and then an agency also that would not only represent musicians but would also represent athletes, media personalities, anybody who has a brand that needs to be managed or represented. We want it to be there. We want to represent journalists, represent lawyers, anybody that the public is consuming. We wanted to represent those people, I mean, locally and internationally. So that's the change of doing that, and it's also the reason why I went to, I'm studying now at Harvard. I'm doing the business of entertainment, media, and sports. This is the reason why, So for me, it was like, okay, for us to be able to compete globally, we need to understand how the global trends and what is the prestigious university that would give you tools for you to be able to do that. It was two universities, it's Oxford or or um, or
Harvard.
or Harvard, and
Sure.
Harvard it was. So yeah.
Okay, that's actually quite inspiring for someone, who was in academics and, just jumped over to creative side just a little bit. So also with you pivot, you wait, when did you study social entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
before or after the music?
After the music.
Okay, so how was that, like, knowing, going to music school every day and being, okay, I want to be a musician, I want to make music.
Yeah.
What informed the decision behind, okay, let me
Social.
step behind and let me go to social entrepreneurship, let me go into business a bit more?
It's the very same thing of not seeing of not seeing my peers and people that I grew up with. I only seeing them in the township, not bumping to someone that I grew up with at the airport, or anywhere else, it's for me. I was the word ghetto king was coined by my peers, people that I grew up with. Zakes, when you're a ghetto king, and then I ran with it, but it hurt me, the fact that I'm the only one who's parking this car. Okay, these are my friends. I love them. I'm here. They love me, and I love being here. But it hurts me that I'm the only one. I'm just the only one. And when I listen to the stories and they're telling me about the stories, the township and stuff, I knew something needed to be done. And I know that socially, there needs to be a social intervention, And so I wanted to create platforms or programs that would have a different social impact in our community. So the only back to my mother, if you want to do something, go study. Me wanting to understand how do I do that, then I went to study social entrepreneurship, so that I understand how to create programs that will help my community while able to employ and sustain people who are working for that organization.
Yeah, that's beautiful, because I solely and truly believe that creatives are the new everything, the new activists, new athletes, new
No, we've
anything
been.
and everything.
It's not even new. It's like creatives have been like that. You must understand one thing. Miriam Makeba, she's the first person who addressed the United Nations. This is before O.R. Tambo addressed it. And it was Miriam Makeba who introduced O.R. Tambo to United Nations, who said, I cannot be speaking and addressing you because I don't have a constituency. A person that will be able to speak to you and make you understand who's my leader is O.R. Tambo. So we've been. Yeah, it's not like it's not we've been at it. We are number one. We've been number one. People were singing. The Chico Twalo, We Miss You, Manelo, and every struggle is in song. There's no struggle in talks. It is in songs. People go into the streets and then they sing. So music has always been in the forefront of what. Don't let them tell you something else.
Yeah.
We've
been hearing other things.
Yeah, we just need to. Yeah, we just need to take over our seats. When someone we take out what is rightfully ours. This thing is about the arts. It's not about anything else. When there was a pandemic, when they were at home, then they realized that a politician couldn't do anything for you, but it was music and entertainment that really made people survive. Yeah. So don't get it twisted.
Okay, speaking of music, has any of your basically, what does music making or writing music look like for you now compared to when you first started out?
I have never regarded myself as a really a songwriter. For me, I'm really a producer. It's just that, like, I think a power of PR. Like I said, people don't know me as a producer, which is one of my strongest thing. People know me as a vocalist or as a singer, which is like one of my weakest. Like they know the weakest
side.
side of my musicality. Yeah, I write music, I produce music, I mix music, and I teach a lot of. I teach a lot of guys. Like guys like Dreka, kinda so now, and so many guys that I work with, whom I impact my knowledge to them. Sitting down with them and just, I give them what I know and stuff, and I also learn from them a lot. I. And then I'm always a student. Like I'm always a student. I'm still learning even right now. Like it's only now, like only like 2 years ago, I started using like Fruity Loops. Like this Fruity Loops, why every kid is on this Fruity Loops
What
thing?
were you using then?
I was using, I use Logic, Cubase. I'm a Logic guy, but I decided my last album to do it on Fruity Loops. So, I mean, it gave you Osama, Girl in the
Okay,
Mirror.
shout out Fruity Loops.
It gave you that. It gave you, it gave you a lot of, Asanda. All these records that are number one right now, most of them are coming from now Fruity Loops because that's what I was like. I just want to check it out, and obviously because I want to learn, and most of young producers are on Fruity Loops, and I was like, okay, let me just sit down and let me just understand. This is a program that they know. Okay, what makes me think that they should come to my program? Why can't I just go and understand their program? You know what I mean? Like it, yeah. So it was like that. So I went there. So I'm still a student now. So that actually it forced me to be in studio with. I'm always with someone when I'm in studio because I don't know how to operate Fruity Loops. I can only say, "Hey, I need a piano," and then they would look for, "Hey, I look this and I look for that." So it has forced me to really share my production skills with someone. But I can say I'm really enjoying it. So I sometimes laugh when people look down on Fruity Loops and be like, every music program is important. Yeah.
So, bruh, I wanna take you back when you're still studying music. Have you thought of that you'll be this Zakes who's releasing hits after hits every year?
I never wanted
Just
to.
pushing a passion.
Yeah. No, for me, I never thought that I was going to be a frontline artist. I always wanted to be a music executive. Hence, that's why I signed at Volvo. That was my deal. I was never given a contract that had an El Volvo name on the contract. They gave my company, my new productions, a licensing deal, and they said, give us the project. Right? So it could have been anybody. It could have been me, but I signed at Volvo. Then I released Volvo as the first artist of my own on my label. Then Pizora, I'm sure you know Pizora, King Mekongo. Yeah. So I wrote that song and produced it. So I've done all of those. So for me, I always wanted to be a music executive. Hence the reason why I even joined Son as executive head of A&R. Because for me, that's what my journey was to be behind the scene. But you know how you guys, young people and artists are. Every time you see you have that success, and then you be like the famous word. I just wanna grow now. I just wanna grow. Just know once an artist says that, greediness has sneaked in.
Johnny.
Because why want to grow alone now? I've invested in you when you had nothing, right? And I trusted, and I've invested my money and everything else. Now you've grown. Now you've realized who you are. Now you are this. Now why don't you want to grow with me? Now you know. Oh, now you know what to do. And then I don't need you anymore. Why? When we were nothing, I invested in you. So why can't you just, when you know now how to grow, why can't you just grow together? Now why you grow alone? So it's selfish, right? Isn't it? Yeah. So once you hear artist says I wanna grow, but why didn't you grow 3 years ago when you didn't have nothing?
Ish. Zakala.
Yeah, why growing now when you have everything? Why grow now when everybody know you?
Okay.
Why grow now when you're in demand? Why do you wait until you demand and then you want to grow alone?
Okay.
The funny part about El Vovo, I always thought El Vovo is the one who discovered you. I didn't know it's the other way around.
Research.
So, okay, let's talk about when you started the music as compared to now. What can you say about our South African music?
It's growing, man. It's growing like big time. It's growing like big time. I see like I'm a piano really, really taking over, but I think it's a challenge for you guys because if you guys are not clear and organizing yourself, that sound will be represented by someone else.
Ish.
Which is what is happening right now.
That's my biggest fear, because for the longest time, the biggest amapiano artist was someone from Nigeria, and that was quite scary.
Yeah.
How do you think? Like, what's the best model to keep that music ours?
By collaborating more, and by really appreciating one another, appreciating each other. This thing of saying, because I did not make this record, therefore I'm not going to play it. This thing of saying I'm not going to collaborate with that particular person. This thing of saying all of those things, like, because this music is coming from Eastern Cape, I won't play it. This music is coming from KZN or about whatever. That's what is gonna kill this particular movement. What people from West Africa, they've done very, 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 very well. I don't even think that they are friends, but those guys party together, and those guys push each other. When you see Nigerians anywhere in the world, all these big artists, you see them in one space. They partying, they clapping, they are together. They're making content together. They dancing to each other's songs. They posting about someone else, somebody's songs and stuff. Meanwhile, here in South Africa, people, when there's an Afrotech song which is big, people will blow tickets. When there's a Mapiano song which is amazing, other artists then will blow tickets and stuff like that. So you must understand that not every big record is going to come from you, but this thing represents each and every one of us. So we need this. We need to coexist and need to support one another. You need to support someone even if you don't like them, but I support them because we are not only doing it for them, we're doing it for everybody else. Yeah, there's a bigger picture.
We sing amapiano taking a lot of space in the music industry. I don't know if it's me saying that. But amapiano, making it so. And I saw Sawa Zambia, the last release, Motoka Shugela, they changed it from Ikwaito, they have a new sound. Maybe are we gonna see Zakes also changing the genre?
I love different genres. I love different sounds. That's just what I do. Like, for me, I am not genre based. It's just that dance music comes to me easily. Every time I sit down to program music, dance comes. But when I sit down and when I program my piano song, a record comes, I will do it. I just that I don't make a genre. I just make music. It's just that it has happened that most of the time I just gravitate towards dance music. But it's not like you would not hear a song at 114 BPM or 113 BPM. I would. If a jazz song comes to my whatever, I would do it. So I have 2 songs of my piano. I think I have one with the late DJ somebody called it Jabula. Yeah. And then I have another one with Amos. So I did my piano record. My piano is for me, my piano is Kwaito. It's an extension of Kwaito. That's for me, that's what it is. It's like what trap is now. It's still rap, right? It's called hip hop or rap. It's not really what I used to listen to when I was growing up. So it's the same thing, but now it's still within hip hop, but it's called trap, right? So it's the same thing. Amapiano is still within the Kwaito, but they just are called Amapiano. It's like Dep and Kwaito music. There's also another, but it was Dep and Kwaito, but it was still
it's more like a new version of Kwaito.
Yeah, it was. For me, that's what Amapiano is. Just a new version of Kwaito. So I'm actually thinking even to myself that it's actually delayed. I'm expecting the Mapaputis, the Zambias, the Mtutsikitikis, the Tebes to be like the Zolas to be on this genre because it's theirs. It's like it speaks to them. So yeah. So if the sound comes, I'll do it because I'm definitely not genre based.
And I think what you also just said about how like the old Kwaito artists should, would be cool for them to come back and to
learn from the kids, and then the kids learn from them. Yeah,
I think that would also be a way to sort of keep it ours.
Yeah,
as I said,
yes.
Yeah, that could be also one of the ways to make sure we gain the pride and keep it ours.
Of course.
Moving right along, I asked a couple of people on social media to ask questions and on my WhatsApp because Have to. So I just have a couple of questions from them. One person, the first question I got was about Abantu.
Yes.
They asked, when is that going to happen? Please stop postponing. They've been waiting. Yes.
No, man, I want to say they would understand why I kept pushing the date, because I wanted for them to have the best experience ever. So Abantu are happening on the 28th of October. That date is not going to change.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Okay,
so 28th of October,
Okay.
at the DHL Stadium. That is not gonna.
It's in Cape Town?
Change. It's here in Cape Town.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So we're doing it at DHL Stadium. We are doing 25,000 people. It's gonna be it's one of the biggest shows and one of the biggest things that I'm looking forward to. I'm also working on my new album called Abantu, which is my last and final album my whole entire career. So yeah, I apologize for those who felt like, but believe you me, I wanted them to have the best experience, and I felt like putting it together at that time, they weren't gonna get the best experience because of how the setup at the stadium was going to be. At that time we were not gonna be able to use the field. We're just gonna have to. So we're gonna use parts of the stadium, and I didn't like it like that. I wanted that to be proper in the stadium, which October was the best date for us to be in the stadium.
Y'all heard, okay? It wasn't me who said it. You heard it from Zakes himself. Ndikx, you can just read the next question for us over here.
Okay, let me check. Okay, Liti responded to your question, sticker with, how was... Okay, but how has the industry changed since the days you started and now? I think
you asked
similar to the question that I asked.
Okay, next question.
But I want to ask something.
Yeah.
If you were to make an album or a single and you have to choose one South African artist, which artist would you choose?
Dead or alive?
Yeah, died, alive.
The artist that I choose to work with right now, I wanna do something with Zonke. Yeah. It's a friend of mine, but she's very tough to get into a studio to do something. So
Since you said it is going to happen.
So
So you must give credit to us.
Did you know it's even at that level? Because yes, there's some conflicts that be happening sometimes when you're trying to get people in the studio. Kanti, you guys also go through this.
No,
Johnny.
believe me, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. Zonke is one of the greatest songwriters.
Zonke, we love you.
And yeah, man, she's so good. She's it's so amazing. Like, she's a friend of mine. I'm like, Zonke, come on, get this. That's a high man, Zakes, man.
Why can't you do this?
Yeah.
Okay, I have one. How did he overcome the pressures of coming from the hood and now being famous?
I don't know, man. I jinxed it. I just took a day at a time. I cannot really say this is what I followed or this was like my formula. I didn't have a formula. I just took one day at a time, and it got me to where I am today.
Okay.
I once saw you in an interview, you were saying we must seek value, the thing of buying a BMW car before buying a house. And I was laughing because as black people, especially, I will say as black people, when we are working, we're making a lot of money, they say we should start buying house before buying a car.
Yeah.
And also invest in building a house or something. But you said we must start seeking value. You must wear those expensive clothes so that people will respect you.
Yeah. I want to employ you to go watch that interview again, because I think you're quoting me wrong. Yeah. Once you I think you watch the clip. Yeah. And as a podcaster, you have to watch the whole thing. You have to you have to try and make sure that you do a full research in that, because there's some people who sit down here and then they realize that you didn't do a right research, and then they would leave. And I wouldn't want you to do that to yourself. So I would then employ you to go to that podcast, watch the whole podcast, then you'll hear what I'm saying there. Then the answer is there. Because had you watch the whole then you would understand. Don't just listen to clips. Don't make conclusions based on clips, especially because you're a podcaster, because you have to give that information to other people. So what you're going to do, you're going to watch that podcast.
That's cool. Do you have another question?
Last one. It's a voice note, but it starts in the middle of nowhere, so I just have to lower it first. Steve by Itini.
But one thing I would like to know about him is actually how did he learn, or where did he learn to dance like that? Because that knows too. Honestly, that's the only question I have for him. And what is he doing, like, business-wise? It's like one thing we've noticed is that he went, well, not necessarily on a break, but didn't make as much music as he did. So what was he doing during that time?
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's from Tabang. Shout out Tabang.
Beautiful questions, Sabang. But the first question was I started my career as a dancer. So I did almost every dance genre except ballet, except ballroom. So I did contemporary dance, kampo, ballet, pantula, electronic.
And you are killing it.
You can cramp.
I don't like it. I just didn't make sense for me. It just didn't make sense for me. I'm from the township, and when you do that kind of stuff, people they were like, "Well, we are sang." You know how it is. The guys they just don't understand. You know.
That's why I asked. There will be a sight to see.
Making all those funny faces. Anyways, so I didn't do that. And that's why I started there. So I was really like professionally like a dancer. I think I have certificates, like professional dance certificates. I lived in Europe for like 6 months teaching dance and dancing and stuff. So I lived my life professionally as a dancer in Paris. So that's how I got to know or to do, a lot about dance. And with regards to the business, yes, I am a businessman in the music industry. That's why I wanted to be a music executive, because I mean that even my approach in the music industry has always been business, So when I wasn't making much music, because I was representing music at that time. I mean, I worked at Sony, and when I was at Sony, we gave you guys like iFunny, KO, Levels, aka Zagwe. We gave you so many hip hop greats. I think also there was a single by Nadia, which we released, and Kalo, and also there was a Zonka record, and then we also gave Zakes Bantwini Ghetto and stuff. So I was a music executive at Sony. That's the stuff that we did. Just to mention a few, and also I opened another. I have a very big appetite when it comes to financial business. So I've got a financial business on the side where we're lending money, and we help, and then we are actually venture capitalists. We invest in businesses that we think will change Black people's lives. Yeah.
I thought that was also cool because when I was obviously doing my things, that came up. It's called Black Pay.
Yeah, Black Pay, yeah.
You offer more than financing. You also offer like household rentals, and that was nice because, I don't know, you don't see that many companies by Black people, even though they exist. It's still majority, a lot of people, white people who do financial services.
They are financial services,
So
and they don't do it to really. They don't understand our financial struggles. So that's why banks are unable to support that kind of initiatives, because to them, a back room. Why would they invest in a back room? You know what I mean? Because a back room is like a cottage. Yeah, every house has that. So
They
for
don't
them,
know
like,
we were living in there, like
yeah, they don't understand.
grew up there or
Our
born
everyday
there.
life.
Of course.
Okay, thank you so much for joining
so
us
much.
today.
Yeah,
I
guys.
think this is it. Ndikx, you got anything else to say?
Nokubulela nje inkosi kakhulu futhi man.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Ndikx. We must go and watch that podcast again.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this podcast as much as we do making them. Remember, if you'd like to attend any of these workshops live, enroll in any of our upcoming programs. To support the work we do, you can find more information on bridgesformusic.org. Please don't forget to subscribe, as we'll be bringing new inspiring conversations soon. Until next time, keep safe.